When your cat follows you from room to room, do you ever wonder what they actually see when they look at you? Most people think it's simple. You feed them. You give them a place to sleep. So of course they stay close. But what if the reason runs deeper than that? What if, in your cat's mind, you aren't just their owner? You're something much bigger. Because hidden in the small things your cat does every day are signals, ancient behaviors, instincts that were never meant for humans at all. And when you start noticing them, a strange pattern appears. Many cats don't just see their humans as companions. They see them as something much closer to family. In fact, some behaviors suggest your cat may secretly think of you the same way a kitten sees its mother. And once you recognize these signs, you'll never look at your cat the same way again. Let's start with the first one. They follow you everywhere. Have you ever noticed that your cat seems to appear wherever you go? You stand up. They stand up. You walk to the kitchen. A few seconds later, there they are. You go to the bathroom. Suddenly your cat is scratching at the door like their life depends on it. At first it feels a little funny, maybe even a little annoying. But here's the thing. This behavior isn't random. It's deeply rooted in kittenhood. When kittens are young, they follow their mother everywhere. Not because they're curious, because their survival depends on it. Their mother is the one who finds food, the one who protects them, the one who teaches them where it's safe to go. So they stay close, always. And when your cat follows you through the house, that same instinct is quietly at work. Somewhere in their mind, you've become the center of their safe world, the one they rely on, the one they track, the one they trust enough to follow blindly. But that's only the beginning, because the second sign is something many cat owners completely misunderstand. 2. They need you. You've probably felt it before. Your cat climbs onto your lap, maybe onto your chest, and suddenly they start pushing their paws into you, over and over, like they're kneading dough. Some cats even purr while they do it. Others close their eyes completely, almost like they've drifted into another world. Most people just call this making biscuits. But the real meaning is far more emotional, because this behavior begins when cats are tiny kittens, when they nurse from their mother. Kittens need their mother's belly to stimulate milk flow. It's one of the earliest bonding behaviors they ever learn. And here's the interesting part. Most adult cats only need when they feel extremely safe, extremely comforted, almost like they're reliving those early kitten moments. So when your cat needs you, they're not just being cute. They're tapping into one of the oldest memories their brain holds. A moment tied directly to comfort, safety, and maternal care. And without realizing it, they may be placing you into that role. Now, before we go further, there's another behavior that reveals this bond even more clearly. But most owners miss it completely. And if you're enjoying learning what your cat might really think about you, take a second to like the video and subscribe. Because once you understand these signals, your relationship with your cat becomes something much deeper. Now let's look at the third sign. 3. They bring you gifts. If you've ever owned a cat long enough, you've probably experienced this moment. You wake up in the morning, walk into the living room, and there it is. A toy mouse, a sock, maybe even something less pleasant, placed carefully where you can see it. At first it might seem confusing, or a little gross. But in the wild, mother cats teach their kittens how to hunt by bringing them prey. Sometimes dead, sometimes alive. It's part of a learning process. The kitten watches, studies, eventually practices. So when your cat drops something at your feet, it may not be random at all. In their mind, they could be trying to contribute to the family, or even teach you. Strange as it sounds, some behaviorists believe cats may see humans as slightly incompetent hunters, which means these gifts might be their way of helping you survive. Not because they think you're weak, but because, in their eyes, you're part of their family unit. And family takes care of each other. 4. They greet you at the door. Have you ever noticed that your cat somehow knows exactly when you're about to come home? You unlock the door, and there they are, waiting, tail up, eyes focused, sometimes meowing. This greeting behavior is actually very similar to what kittens do when their mother returns to the nest. They gather near the entrance, alert, excited, ready to reconnect. For a solitary animal like a cat, this kind of routine greeting is surprisingly social. It means your presence matters in their daily rhythm. You leaving changes the environment, and you returning restores it. Which brings us to something even more fascinating. Because the fifth sign isn't about what your cat does when you're awake. It's about what they do when you're asleep. 5. They sleep close to you. Sleep is the most vulnerable moment in a cat's day. In the wild, sleeping in the wrong place could mean the difference between life and death. So when a cat chooses to sleep next to someone, it's not a small decision. It's a statement. It means they trust that nothing bad will happen while their guard is down. But there's another layer to this. Kittens sleep in piles with their mother and siblings. The warmth, the scent, the physical contact, all of it reinforces the feeling of safety. So when your cat curls up beside you every night, they may be recreating that same environment, a place where they learned what safety feels like. And that says a lot about how they view you. But the sixth sign goes even deeper. And it reveals something about your cat's awareness that most people never think about. 6. They watch you closely. Have you ever caught your cat staring at you? Not blinking, just observing. Sometimes from across the room. Sometimes from the edge of the bed. At first it might feel a little strange, but cats learn by watching, especially when they're young. Kittens constantly observe their mother, how she moves, where she goes, what she reacts to, and slowly they copy those behaviors. So when your cat studies you the same way, they may be doing something similar, learning your patterns, understanding your signals, mapping out your habits, because, in their mind, you're one of the most important figures in their world. But the final sign might be the most emotional one of all. And once you notice it, it's hard to ignore. 7. They run to you when they're scared. Think about the last time something startled your cat. A loud noise. A stranger entering the room. A sudden movement. Where did they go? Did they hide somewhere random? Or did they run toward you? For many cats, their first instinct is to move closer to the person they trust the most. Not away. This behavior mirrors what kittens do when danger appears. They rush toward their mother because she represents protection, security, safety. So when your cat chooses you in those moments, they're revealing something powerful. In their mind, you're not just part of the environment, you're the safest place in it. And when you add up all these behaviors, the following, the kneading, the gifts, the greetings, the sleeping close, the watching, the running to you when they're afraid, a quiet picture begins to form. Your cat may not see you as just their owner. They may see you as family, something closer to a parent than a companion. And the truth is, for an animal as independent as a cat, that level of trust is incredibly rare. So the next time your cat curls up beside you, needs your lap, or follows you into yet another room, remember something. In their small, mysterious world, you might be the closest thing they have to home.